So I took a trip to Wylands near Battle, and I chose this swim on the road bank of House Lake because there was a good stiff breeze blowing right in at my feet, and it had some good features immediately in front of the swim to the left and the right. I was baiting up with a mixture of sweet corn and pellet, and while that was doing its work, I popped up the bank to an adjacent swim and put out a few floating pellets as well. They limit numbers, so you've got a bit of space around the lake. And then it was a case of positioning a float over the pellet and sweet corn with sweet corn on the hook, and it didn't take long for the silvers to get there. And before long I'd had a few nice hand-sized roach mixed in with a few hybrids and a few skimmer bream as well. But while this was happening, I could hear some sucking noises coming from the adjacent swim, so I pushed all the float tackle up the line and replaced the sweet corn with a floating bait, and in mere seconds I managed to hook something far more substantial, which went on a tour of the lake in front of me. But eventually I was able to draw this nice chunky common to the net. And I would say it was comfortably pushing mid-doubles. A nice strong fish that gave a very good account of itself. And then back down to my first choice of swim, and by now I'd replaced the sweet corn with a pellet style hook bait to slow the silvers down a bit. And when I say I fish close in, I really do fish close in. I mean, the float's in danger of being blown up the bank here, but very often on the commercials that's where you want to be, and it's proved to be the case, as very soon after I was into another carp. And this fish was a lovely clean fish, again a nice chunky double, just very well conditioned fish indeed. There seemed to be a lot of frogs about, and that had brought the grass snakes out, so everyone was on the hunt for something. And I'd swap back to the left hand side of my swim near the dwarf lily, and in fairly short order I got this nice little dark common, quite distinctive because it was much darker than the others I'd seen, but a very pretty fish. And then once again I could hear sucking noises coming from my little surface spot, and sure enough there was a couple of carp in residence, and it didn't take too long for one to come up and take the hook bait, and we were in again once again. And the wind was getting quite strong by this point, and again after giving a very good account of itself, this fish too succumbed to the net. Probably not as big as the first two I'd caught, but it's still a very nice fish and a very good way to round off what had been a very pleasant session.